saying it, instead of it just being a random act,
It's
a gang.
organized.
It's organized.
It has some type of gang to it.
Are there a certain type of person? If I went out right now to the store, what is it that we can do to protect ourselves?
As an individual,
I mean, do I need to look bummy?
No.
I need to? I mean,
No,
what is
well,
you
not,
know?
well, let me not this gangs are territorial, and they really they go after gang members. Like if they rob gang members or stuff like that, or do certain things, they go after. They don't mess with civilians. You would consider a civilian.
Okay.
So it's very rare that a gang member will come after you unless like you were connected to somebody and somebody told them you had some money and they will get some money out of you or something like that. But 9 times out of 10 they just don't, unless you got startup gangs who are trying to make a reputation, who are the most dangerous gangs because they're trying to prove a point, they're trying to make a statement. So those are the guys that normally would, if they attack a civilian or go after a civilian, it's because they're trying to get some type of notoriety. But when you talk about traditional gangs that's been set up, that's organized, that's structured, they're more focused on large sums of money, and they're trying to keep. Now they will go after businesses, but they're not trying to go after individuals unless that person is connected to somebody that may be a rival gang member or something like that.
Since you're experiencing this, is there a certain part of town though that there's a higher concentration?
Well, I mean, I can just say definitely when you look at your more impoverished communities, I mean, you kind of
So
look
the
at
hood, pretty much.
I mean, yeah, you're definitely in the hood. I mean, because like I mentioned, that's a breeding ground for gang members. You know, you got kids that are fathers are not home, parents not at home. Basically, they lack that community support. So why not start these gangs? And that's what he's mentioned, a lot of these hybrid gangs that are starting in a lot of these communities. But now they're moving out to the suburbs. They're moving out to different communities now.
When you send your child to elementary school,
Yeah.
what is the age? If your child is young, are there gangs, or does it start in middle school, or does it start in high school?
I'm staying in elementary school now.
Elementary school?
I'm getting elementary schools that are calling me.
When you say elementary, you mean second grade, third grade?
I mean like 4th and 5th graders.
Okay.
They're 10, start as young as 10. Starting to see, actually in a program that I run in Douglas County, I had a young man 2 years ago. I had a young man that was 8 years old that threw a chair at his teacher.
8 years old and threw a chair at his teacher?
That was sentenced to my program because he was trying to impress the guys that he was supposed to be clicked up with.
Oh, that is so sad.
And so it's a serious issue because every generation is recruiting. And so now it's like when you look at the middle schoolers, they are recruiting the elementary school. So it's like they're trying to pass on this tradition. And that's what the gangs are traditional. When you look at the lineage of Bloods and Crips, Sir 13, MS 13, gangs that have been around, Aryan Brotherhood,
been around forever.
Forever. So, and they're passing this on to the next generation.
All right, so we've talked about being in a gang and, how do you get out of a gang? You got out of the gang. How did you do that? Alive.
I got tired. It was it.
Tired?
Prison,
you weren't working?
No, prison did it for me.
Okay.
I mean, and being honest, when I went to prison, that did it for me.
Okay.
I did 11 and a half years in prison.
Well, that'll do it.
It did it for me. I missed my son growing up. He was 3.5 when I went to prison. He was 15 when I got out.
Oh God.
So, me, and he just turned 21 in December.
Ooh.
So, even though we have a good relationship, I missed a lot of years of his life because I was in that situation.
Yeah, but I've heard people say that once you get in, you can't get out. So that's not true?
That's not true. And I just try to be honest with people.
Okay.
Gangs they manipulate, they deceive people. They want to intimidate you. They want you to put you in fear. Gangs are territorial, first of all. Then it's okay. If you stay in Adamsville, which is in Fulton County, and you say, I'm just going to move to Decatur, they're not going to come looking for you. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
Unless you did something to them and they know your exact location.
Okay.
That's just how gangs are. But when you're embedding fear or you telling people, if you leave me, I'm gonna kill you. But then you demonstrate that you will you commit these acts, people will actually believe that. But I know several people that when I was coming up, their parents wouldn't allow them to hang with us. And it was like, man, my mama would kill me if I hang with y'all. And we respected that because everybody respects that. And, you know, so I tell people when they ask me, I say, the simplest and easiest way to do that is just say, man, my mama gonna kill me if I hang with y'all. Everybody respects that.
Okay.
You know, but it goes a little deeper, because if for a parent who thinks their child life is in danger, I really recommend that they relocate to a different part of town or to another location.
All right, so we figured out, you know, the gangs and why. What do you do? I mean, the kids that are in a gang that want to get out, do you help them?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually what we're doing now.
Okay, explain that.
Well, right now, like I mentioned before, we're actually doing a tour. We're hitting several high schools, middle schools, elementary school, called Bully and Breeze Gang Members. And so not only are we educating the community, we're educating the students, educating them about the law, but also providing the kids an opportunity if they want to get out, and providing them with resources within the community to help them. One thing that we have noticed is that even when we spoke to sergeants, chiefs, and sheriffs in different communities, there are a lack of resources dealing with gangs, prevention and intervention. And so hopefully with what we're doing, trying to raise awareness about this issue, more people will get on board and we have more programs geared towards that.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment with the audience participation.
Do it for today. A Metro Atlanta man fed up with the gang problem here is fighting back with his camera.
Dominic Stokes says he got tired of seeing gang members and their victims getting hurt, so he shot a documentary to shock people into action.
Life of a thug is life of putting your life in risk.
Is that? I ain't telling them nothing, but I heard the streets was talking. I ain't telling them nothing, but I heard the streets was talking. I ain't telling them nothing, but I heard the streets was talking. In the hood every day, walking out.
Yeah, I do this because really, that's all I know.
Yeah, money. Get rich as I try, baby. That's what we do on the street. You know what I'm talking about?
I ain't telling them nothing, but I heard the streets was talking. In the hood every day, walking out talking.
Everywhere you turn, you're putting yourself in danger.
If I am born into a gang family, what else do I know?
That's your reality.
If my mom and my dad are teaching me how to throw hand signs at a young age, that's what I learned.
Those who go to jail in great numbers today drop out of school in great numbers, and that's where they're going to end
up. I've seen people getting raped. I've seen people getting killed.
They call me the #1 fighter, so anything pop off, I had to be, you know what I'm saying, I was always there.
Gang member is active.
You know, the gangs offer a lot of things that kids aren't getting at home.
You got kids that do it for protection, coming from households where there's no love, there's no nurturing.
I don't have the support from my family. I'm getting some support from the local gang members that are in my neighborhood.
This is a gift that the streets give you.
And you out here robbing people and taking people away from their family.
Keep up with these children, trying to keep encouraging them, keep showing them love, keep having them speak out against violence. Everyone that has to contribute in order for a change to happen.
This show, I'm so glad you're bringing it. It's very timely. My husband and I live in Gwinnett County, and most of our gangs are Hispanic and Asian, and there are a lot of Hispanic and Asian gangs in Gwinnett County. And I want to know, what is a parent to do who cannot just up and move, and their children, which I haven't heard mentioned today, their children are being bullied into a gang. They feel they have no choice but to get into the gang.
Well, I can say, first of all, I'm glad that you and your son are having that dialogue. Second thing is, you definitely need to notify the school. If it's happening at the school, let the principal know, let your teachers know. And also what they can do is notify law enforcement. One thing that that I've noticed, and even speaking to law enforcement, they're kind of working with the school systems. And so once the school identify the gang members that are in the community, in the schools, they're able to notify the law enforcement to kind of help out to prevent gangs to continue to progress throughout their school. But also tell your son to continue to communicate with you. And as a parent, definitely go up there and speak your mind. What we're noticing is that many parents are not getting involved. Many parents are not speaking out, so they're not showing up to PTA meetings. They're not expressing their concerns about what's going on in the community. So if you don't say anything, the school is not going to do anything about it.
Thank you.
And I just want to add to that.
Okay.
I want to add to that. I will hold a mediation with the parents. See, and this is what I'm saying. A lot of parents, you got a lot of parents that don't know what their kids are doing because they're not in their kids' business. Like Dominic was saying, you know, when Ms. Mills was asking about what does a parent look for. If you're not in your kids' business, then you're not going to know what your children are involved in. But I would hold, and I tell a lot of parents, it's to get to the root of the problem is hold a mediation. Find out who the young person is that is bullying your son. Go to the principal and tell them you want to hold a mediation with this parent, so the parent will know what's going on. That that they're bullying your child, and then from what you do from that point is you let that parent know if this continues, I'm going to seek to press charges against your child for harassing my child, and you can count on that's just something you need to do.
Thank you.
I've heard a lot about what is lacking in our communities. So what exactly do you suggest that our communities do to address the bullying, to address these young children who are falling victim to the gangs and falling victim to bullying? So what can the communities do? What is your suggestion there?
Get involved. I mean, the reality behind the problem is gangs become rooted because the people don't do nothing about it. I mean, you sit up and you watch 10 guys hanging on the same spot. They go from hanging in one location to you start seeing spray painting and stuff and doing things, and nobody acknowledges the problem. That's the problem. The people don't get involved. They don't say nothing to it because they feel like if it's not happening to them directly, that's not none of my business. And that's why the problem's so out of hand. So I believe, and when I do town hall meetings and everything, I hold the community accountable for what's going on. Everybody needs to get involved.
Thank you.
My question is to the neighborhoods of Fulton County. I see what you all are doing, and I respect both of y'all for that, but what are police officers doing? What can we do to get involved in what the police officers are doing?
Well, I can say I can't speak for every county, but the counties that we kind of partner with, some of the counties are definitely, they're very involved dealing with the gangs. One thing that as a community you got to understand, law enforcement can't change this problem. It starts at home with the parents. The parents is the first sign and the first are in a position to stop the gangs before they even exist and before they even take root. So if the parents continue to do their job, partner in with the school, partner in with law enforcement, then it will stop the increase of gangs taking root within the communities.
Where are you getting your funding to go around and do your cause?
To be honest with you, we've been actually volunteering our time. We're hopefully this year we're able to gather some sponsors. This is a passion of mine in art, but as we know, it costs. Myself and my program, we actually personally been putting our money up, but now we're actually looking for sponsors to help us continue the mission and continue to spread the gospel. That's the only way that we're going to continue to raise awareness. So if anyone wants to donate or get involved in the cause, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, as a product of a single-family home and also a father myself, I really appreciate your timeliness on this topic. I have two questions. Number one, you just said that you're volunteering your time. Do you have a need for other male volunteers that can help you out? And then number two, have you reached out to local churches to help to get the message out to the parents? Because I know that you can't go to every home and or every school, or maybe you can, but I just wanted to know if you were doing that.
Yeah, to answer your question, yes, we're always looking for especially male mentors, male volunteers.